Once upon a time, in a cozy little house on the edge of a great forest, lived a sweet little girl. Everyone in the village loved her, but her grandmother loved her most of all, and had made her a beautiful little riding cloak of red velvet. It suited her so well that she would never wear anything else, so everyone simply called her Little Red Riding Hood. One morning, her mother called to her. "My darling daughter," she said, holding a basket heavy with goodies, "your dear grandmother is unwell. Please take this basket of cake and wine to her. It will help her feel better." Little Red Riding Hood smiled brightly. "Of course, Mother. I'll go right away and come back soon." Her mother knelt down, her face serious. "Listen carefully, my dear. Go straight to Grandmother's house. Don't dawdle, and most importantly, do not stray from the path. The woods can be a dangerous place. I'll be very careful, Mother. I promise I won't wander off the path." Little Red Riding Hood replied. She took the basket, gave her mother a quick hug, and set off on her journey. Her mother watched from the doorway until the little red cloak disappeared among the trees. The path through the forest was narrow, winding between tall, ancient trees. The sun shone through the leaves, making dappled patterns on the ground. As Little Red Riding Hood walked, she saw beautiful, colorful flowers blooming on the side of the path. "Oh, how lovely!" she thought to herself. "Grandmother adores flowers. It would be so nice to bring her a bouquet. I'll just pick a few." Forgetting her mother's warning, she stepped off the path to gather the pretty blossoms. With each flower she picked, she saw another, even more beautiful, a little deeper in the woods. Before she knew it, she had wandered far from the safety of the trail. Suddenly, a large wolf appeared from behind a tree. He tried to look friendly, but his eyes gleamed with cunning. "Good day, little girl," he said in a smooth voice. "Where are you off to all by yourself?" Startled, Little Red Riding Hood clutched her basket. "I'm going to see my grandmother," she answered timidly. "She's feeling sick, so I'm bringing her some cake and wine to make her strong again." "And where does your grandmother live?" the wolf asked, his tail wagging slowly. Unaware of the danger, Little Red Riding Hood pointed deeper into the forest. "Her house is just a little further on, under the 3 big oak trees." The wolf mumbled to himself, a wicked grin spreading across his face. First the grandmother, then the tender young girl. A delicious plan, too. "Little Red Riding Hood," he said cheerfully. "Well, what a good grandchild you are. I hope your grandmother feels better very soon." With a nod, Little Red Riding Hood continued picking flowers, but the wolf didn't wait. He took a secret, shorter path and raced through the woods, arriving at the grandmother's cottage long before she did. He crept up to the door and knocked gently. Tap, tap, tap. Bruise from inside. A weak voice called out, "Who is there?" The wolf disguised his voice, making it high and sweet. "It's me, Grandmother, Little Red Riding Hood. I've brought you some cake and wine." "Oh, lift the latch and come in, my dear," the grandmother replied. "I'm too weak to get up." The wolf lifted the latch, the door swung open, and in a single bound, he was beside the bed. Spill, in a flash, he swallowed the poor old grandmother whole. Then, he put on her nightgown and cap, climbed into the bed, and pulled the covers all the way up to his chin, waiting. A little while later, Little Red Riding Hood arrived, her arms full of flowers. She was surprised to find the door ajar. She knocked. "Grandmother." "It's me. I'm here," the wolf, imitating the grandmother's frail voice, called out. "Come in, my dear, come in." Little Red Riding Hood stepped inside. The cottage seemed strangely dark and quiet. She placed her basket on the table and walked towards the bed. The figure lying there looked very odd. "Oh, Grandmother," she said, leaning closer. "You look so different today." "Jets. Just this illness. My sweet child," the wolf rasped from under the cap. "But Grandmother," said Little Red Riding Hood, "what big ears you have." "All the better to hear you with, my dear, and Grandmother, what big eyes you have." "All the better to see you with, my dear." "But Grandmother," she whispered, her voice trembling, "what big teeth you have." The wolf threw off the covers and roared in his own terrible voice, "All the better to eat you with." He leaped from the bed and lunged at the terrified little girl. Little Red Riding Hood screamed and ran for the door. Just at that moment, a huntsman was passing by the cottage. He heard the scream and thought, "Something is wrong in there." He burst through the door, his axe raised high. "Stop, you wicked beast," he shouted. The wolf, startled and cornered, tried to escape, but the huntsman was too quick. He stopped the wolf and, seeing its unnaturally swollen belly, knew just what had happened. With a careful snip, he opened the wolf's stomach. To Little Red Riding Hood's astonishment, out popped her grandmother, safe and sound. "Oh, my child," the grandmother cried. "I thought I was lost forever." They hugged each other tightly, tears of relief streaming down their faces. The huntsman dealt with the wicked wolf, making sure he would never trouble anyone again. He turned to the little girl with a kind but firm look. "Let this be a lesson. Never trust a stranger, and always listen to your mother." Little Red Riding Hood nodded, her eyes wide. "I promise," she said. "I will never, ever forget what my mother told me again." And from that day on, she always stayed on the path.